Go.
Hi, everybody. I am 46 or 64. Which one am I? But today is my birthday, and my wonderful, wonderful friends, employees gave me this amazing birthday present I absolutely love. And they also gave me an incredible card, which I absolutely have to say is so adorable. Another birthday, I shits you not, from Sushi Cha-Cha. I just love it. Sushi Cha-Cha. So, I have some amazing things to talk about, and I do really want to say that my birthday present this year is about giving to you a little bit about me and the top 3 things that I have done to get where I'm at 46 years old. And I have to say, this year and last year, I no longer did what I've done every single birthday, which was kind of it, and I do this at the beginning of the year and end of the year, which I didn't do this year either because I don't need to anymore. So I want to explain this. So every year at my birthday, it's kind of a time to go, okay, how am I doing on my goals, on my trajectory of life? And I compare to previous years and all that. Last year, I didn't feel the need to do it. Now, I love celebrating my birthday. If you know me, you know I love birthdays. Whether it's your birthday or my birthday, I love birthdays. I love celebrating you. So last year, prior to my birthday, 2 months prior, I had done my first Sound of the Soul with Rasmus in Germany. And honestly, I didn't feel like I needed to search anymore. I felt like I was there. I didn't need to go compare myself to last year. I was there. I had arrived. And this year, even more so, I said to Ian this morning, you know, honey, for the first time in my life, I feel like I don't need to search for anything. I have arrived. I know who I am, and I am fully me. And I'm so happy about that. And part of that is, yes, I have handled my health, but there has been something that I've been dealing with for 15 years. And all of you watching this, either you know somebody or you're part of that 15 years because it's been the business aspect of True Wellness. And I want you all to realize that there's a great parallel for what I do, what we do for health and for our financial health because they're one and the same. And this brings up 2 things for me. One is our amazing Kate, that we love so much, who's holding this camera for me right now, is going to take a little sabbatical in February. She's going to go hang out with some of her friends and spend some time with some of her family in Korea. And when she comes back, Kate will be purely virtual for us. I know a lot of you have been able to enjoy her amazing therapy for breath and working within our breath and doing our yoga and really doing the practice of finding that inner us. And Kate's amazing at that. And she'll continue to do that here at True Wellness, mostly virtual. She will be around some Saturdays and so forth. But the end of this month, we're going to give her a big farewell hug. She'll still be around because she's Kate and she'll always be a part of us. But she won't physically be in the space so much. But Kate and I have worked with a gentleman who's written a book who really brought this to my attention. And so, Mark, I'm giving your book a shout out here. Mark Bernstein wrote an amazing book, and I know I should know the title. Financial, do you remember the title?
Physical
Physical fitness? No.
Physical therapy?
Physical therapy. Fiscal therapy. And with a pyramid on it. Yes, physical therapy. Sorry, Mark, botched your book. But here's the thing. I'm reading his book, and he's done the exact same thing I want to share with you, so I'm stealing this from Mark a little bit. Our business is a parallel for looking at your financials, okay? I have met so many clients in 15 years. We have 3 of them here right now. They walk in with stacks of papers. They've been to doctor after doctor after doctor. They have ailments that they can't figure out. They go into doctors, and their doctors say, there's nothing wrong with you. It's in your head, okay? 15 years ago, we started this business. I'm a biologist. He's Ian. We have to start a business. So we do the best we can. We research books. We take a couple community classes, community college classes about business, and we start our corporation. I hire accountants. I hire bookkeepers. I've had 5 or 6 accountants in the last 15 years and a couple bookkeepers. And lawyers. I've hired all these experts. And at the end of every year, to be honest with you, I want to close the business down when it's time to do the taxes because it never makes sense to me. I don't understand all the things they say to me. Oh, you have this much profit. And I'm always like, oh, really? Where's that profit? Well, could you show me that profit? That's like you walk into your doctor and going, oh, look at all this energy you have. And you're like, oh, really? Where is that energy? I don't feel that energy. You're telling me my adrenals work fine, but I don't feel it. And here's the thing, there's 3 rules you have to follow that I have followed for 15 years that have served me well and are finally getting me to the core of my business. And I had to do this, just like every one of you has to do this if you really want to get to the bottom of your healthcare. I can't hire an expert to run my business. That's the lesson I learned in the last 8 months. I can hire experts to help me, but I have to be in charge because nobody knows my business like me. Nobody breathes this business like me. Nobody has this passion for this business like me. Nobody can sell this business like me. Every one of you knows that. And just like your case, nobody knows your case like you. Nobody knows how bad it is when you sleep. Nobody knows how it hurts when you poop. Nobody knows how bad it is when you have sex. Whatever the case is, nobody knows it like you. So the first thing you need to do is you need to follow your gut. And that's the you part. And, you know, we talk about so much. If you go to somebody and it doesn't make sense, then do either the research, find out why it could make sense. Go to brmi.online and find out why it could make sense. Or if it just doesn't make sense to you, it rubs you the wrong way, then walk out and go, that doesn't make sense, I'm walking out. And I should have done that for the first 5 accountants I had, because every one of them would sit down and go over my taxes, and I'm like, I don't understand it. I guess you're the expert. You're meant to understand it. I guess I don't need to understand it, and I'll just leave it to you. And then a friend of mine who I met, Kim, thank you so much, for introducing her. I know her through Desiree, through the lymph enhancement. She's taken some classes, but Kim's an accountant. She got into this world for her own health issues. And I asked Kim, I was struggling with QuickBooks last year because we had some stuff going on I couldn't quite figure out. And I said, Kim, I know this isn't your business, but could you just sit with my QuickBooks for a few minutes and help me figure some stuff out? And in 20 minutes, she sat down with my QuickBooks, she looked at me and she said, you need Chris. And it felt like, yeah, you need Switzerland. That's what it felt like. You walked into True Wellness, but we can't help you. You need to go to the clinic. I really felt like Kim found a cancer in our business. And her accountant, as he started to educate me and get me involved in this and really be involved, number 2, be involved with your case. Don't leave it up. I don't care. You're over 12, you should be involved in your case. Under 12, okay, let mom and dad run it. Over 12, you should be in charge of your case. Because you know you better, you gotta follow your gut, you gotta like who you're working with, and be involved and engaged with your case. And that's the mistake I made in my business. I wasn't as engaged. I didn't care about the money, I didn't care about the finances, I didn't care about it because it didn't make sense to me, so I just let it go. It was a mistake I made for many, many years. And when Chris started bringing my attention to this and running this as a professional business, it changed everything. In the last 2 weeks of this year, I created a new QuickBooks. I've really delved into the business, and he and I together found these cancers, and we're cutting them out. We're trying to get clean margins, and it hasn't been pretty. Just like when you detox and you feel shitty and you get a rash and you have diarrhea. Trust me, I have lots of symptoms in the last 6 months. But here's the difference. Every year, for 15 years, I wanted to close this business around tax time, and every one of you that knows me knows that. This year, for the first time, I didn't want to close the business. I just wanted to get to the bottom of it. I wanted to figure it out so we could turn it around and I can have the simple, easy business. You know, from an EBV perspective, I always talk about the affirmation. I relax and recognize I am good enough. Life is easy and joyful. And for my health, you guys, I had that down. I was missing that element in my emotional and fiscal business. I now think about that for my fiscal business. I relax and recognize I am good enough to figure this out. I am good enough to have financial success. And life is easy and joyful because I do understand. I took the time. I found the right expert that I connected with. I worked with him. We continue to delve down deep. And of course, he's got an assistant whose name is Kelly, because she's amazing as well. And Kim and Kelly and Chris are working through my business, and they're helping me figure all this out. And here's the key. I'm following their instructions. Chris is telling me what to do. I'm following. It wasn't easy. It was painful to create a new QuickBooks. I've had other people tell me that, but Kim and Chris gave me the incentive to understand why, explain to me why, so I started to do it. And then the third rule, this one's easy and hard. Never quit. Never, ever. Never, ever. Never, ever, 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 ever quit. If I had decided to quit because I want to understand the finances, I think about all the people who we would not have been able to help because I didn't want to figure out some stupid business, not stupid. I didn't want to figure out how our business works. I didn't want to figure out the financial end, how to pay the taxes, how to handle certain aspects of debits and credits. I'm a biologist. I don't really care, but I do care because that allows me to give my biological investigation to help clients come in and see I and to help them with their allergies and their emotional stuff or whatever the case may be. That business allows us to do all this other stuff. I know clients that want a horseback ride, that want to skateboard, that want to write books, that want to travel, that want to go to school, that want to do all these things, but they can't because their physical body holds them back. Well, work through your physical body, work through your emotional stuff, follow your gut with who you're working with, and if it doesn't make sense, continue to investigate until it does. Because I just got off the phone with a client. It was beautiful. Her and I have been working together for almost 2 years. She's moved away now. She was local and now she's long distance. And I put her on some products when she was up here in December, and they started to not make her feel well. She felt a little bloated, so she took herself off of them. And then we started to talk tonight about why that may have occurred and so forth. And she says to me the kindest thing, and no offense to everybody else, but one of the best birthday presents I'd had, which was she started crying. She said that she trusts me more than anybody. And I said, I really appreciate that. However, I want you to trust you because what I am is your sounding board, and I make sense of what sometimes we get caught up in what we're saying in our story. We can't make sense of it. I can be that perspective. I can be that perspective for you. But you're in charge of your health care. She's in charge of her health care. She's like, I just trust you more than anybody, probably too much. And I said, yes, because the person you should trust the most is you. You got to follow your gut. And if I put you on something, it doesn't make you feel right. It doesn't mean you take it off that second. But you have the discussion with us. We figure it out together. That's where the partnership comes in. But you know your body better than we do. You live with it. Number 2, and stay engaged. Oh, he put me on it, so I'm just going to stay on it. I don't need to know what it's for, and I don't need to care what it's for. Yes, you do. Stay engaged. You'll get better results. And never quit. We won't give up if you don't give up. If you give up, we'll give up on you too. But this is your job. You have the opportunity to turn your entire health around, whether that's seasonal allergies or chronic illness. The only difference between you and the person that gets well is they never quit. And this is not a journey that typically lasts for a couple months. It typically lasts for a couple of years when you're dealing with chronic illness. But if you're dealing with chronic illness, there's nowhere else you can go except the European Biological Medicine Office, because these people know to follow their gut, to stay engaged and never quit. Because there's always an answer, even if we don't understand it. There's somebody out there that can help us understand it. I found my experts for my business, and I'm eternally grateful for them for finding my cancer in my business and helping me cut it out so I can continue to create great packages for you guys, to continue to offer amazing services that are only found here in Pennsylvania, one of 50 states in the United States, the only center like it here. And I'm so honored to do that for you. I wish all of you the best night. And next Wednesday, we have an amazing gift for you. Kate is going to be doing a complimentary gift to everybody to tell us how much she loves all of us, of teaching everybody to do some of her breathing techniques. So the last thing I'm going to leave you with, this has been Kelly on her birthday. I've decided that the Facebook Live time is between 8 and 9, around 8:30, when I regulate for it. Because, you know, we're all about regulation, and I don't follow rigidity very well, and this 8:30 time has plagued me for 6 months now. So instead of apologizing, which you know I don't like, I thank you for your patience, and I would like to say that every Wednesday I will see you here on Facebook Live, approximately 8:30 or so, sometime between 8 and 9, when I'm regulating to the point that I feel that it's the right time to do it, because I'm done with clients and I'm ready to give you a little bit more of my energy. So, farewell, y'all. Have a good night.
Happy birthday!
Thanks, Kate.